Yeah, go on then, you talk about it. Come down here and you can see what's going on.
Yeah, there's a group coming in now.
Oh, another group coming and all, great.
This one was used at Liverpool Technical College teaching, and then it went to the university after that. So they're actually teaching students about thermal efficiency and taking indicator diagrams from the engine. They were running it, one of the lab technicians was running it one day, and they had this huge bang, and he said it was as if the engine had peed itself, it chucked all water out of it. It suffered a lens bolt failure.
Oh God. Okay.
So
That's not good.
So the end of the con rod fell to the liner, then it got stuck under the skirt of the piston, and then it couldn't go anywhere except out of the side of the liner. So it punched a hole in the liner. So we tried to get it out at the college. They ended up cutting the top flange, and they actually cut into the cylinder a bit. They still couldn't get it out, so they gave it to us, so we took it out. And when we got here, we just made the tool that it said in the instruction book, and we got the liner straight out. So if they'd done what it said in the instruction book...
If all else fails, read
Yeah.
the instructions.
Yeah. So we've actually got a cylinder blank, and we were going to get it machined up. Chap over at North Links Engineering was going to machine us one. And then another engine came our way that's got quite a lot of pieces missing. So we ended up, we were going to put one of the cylinders off this other engine on here. But this one, when you're looking around, the cylinder is offset to the centre line of the crankshaft. So we couldn't use this cylinder, we needed to use these original cylinders. It's offset, it's a French, I'm not very good at French, decox or decock design. So the piston's actually part way over top dead centre with the powering stroke, so you don't get as much side loading when it's firing. So we knocked a liner out of this other cylinder, put the liner in this and piston and con rod, and now there's still things to be built up on it. It was originally air blast injection. That's where you put high pressure behind the fuel and you spray the fuel in with high pressure behind the fuel. But it had been converted to solid injection. So it's got an ordinary fuel pump on it and an ordinary injector. But all the compressed air system, this is a high pressure compressor, and the fuel pump, and we've got a sprayer, so at some stage when we're finished getting all the lubrication sorted, we hope one day to actually run it on its original air blast. So that's a bit of background to it. So I'll let Mark give it a run now.
Let's see what happens. This thing here is the exhaust, and things will happen, so don't stand in line. If you were here for a few minutes ago, you'd have noticed a racket going on down here. So we've blown up that marine bottle. There's about 250 psi in that. So we're at the right, we've cranked it round, barred it round so it's in the right place now. And this one's got a cam on it, so it'll inject the air at the right moment to build up some speed. I'll tell you what I'm doing, because when I'm doing it, I'll be a bit like this. So put the air on, we'll get up some speed. Then if I leave the air on, it probably won't fire, because the cold air coming in at the wrong moment tends to put the fuel out. So luckily we've got 6 or 7 tons worth of flow, which should preserve a bit of rotation. And then, so I'll turn the air off, then I'll stick the fuel on, and with a bit of luck, something will happen. All right, here goes. Here goes nothing. Black smoke means there's fuel. Sounds like it's firing. There it goes.
Yeah.
You'll notice me fiddling. I'm fiddling because the casing here isn't on the governor,
Yeah.
with the result that there's no governing on the governor. So I'm having to mess about the fuel pump so it doesn't run away. But given it's so heavy, if it did run away, it would kind of do so kind of slowly. On the downside, if anything bad happens, it would take half an hour to stop.
What's you get now?
I'll be over there somewhere.
If I say look, follow me.
If I go a little bit faster, you'll see the weights big out for the governor, which normally you wouldn't get to see because it'd be hiding inside that pot. It goes. I'll let it slow down, then you'll see him bring back in again. He says. There it goes. Push. It's a little bit scary because every time it fires, this whole platform twitches. So you'll notice, obviously this is a single, and Mirrlees were into modular design, you know, really early. So that's a 4-cylinder version of the same thing. For those of you who've travelled a distance, you might know somewhere in East Anglia there's a place called the Prince Willow Museum, and that's a pumping museum based around a big one, a 5-cylinder version of one of them, which is a runner, and that one's a runner on air blast. That engine there is kind of interesting locally here because it came from an engine house adjacent to the ship canal where it was connected to a big pump, and in times of low water in the summer they used it to pump water back up because the locks are enormous. I read somewhere that when the ship canal was built there were only 5 ships in the world that were too big to use the locks, but obviously that was rapidly left behind. So that was a pumping engine, and that one was taken out by the guys at the museum a long time ago, at the end of the 90s, I think. And there's some videos on YouTube if you want to see. And there's also a recent video of us going up to Mode Wheel, which is a top set lock, as some of you might know, in Salford, where they recently scrapped another one. Again, in a right state. It was like, you know, covered in 50 years of guano and green stuff. And there was a lot missing, but there was some stuff there, and some of it's lurking around in the big rusty lumps over there. So as we go on with this, we'll see what's missing, and we'll hopefully have the bits we need. I'm not going to run it for very long because if you can see around here, there's a lever which is fladdling around in fresh air. And that lever would normally be connected to the oiler. We're nearly there with the oiler, but not quite. So all I've done before I started it is go around with a squirty can and try and get everything really soggy. And because I don't want to be stood here when it seizes, I'm going to stop it. So we can time it now and see how long it takes to come to rest. That's no fuel going in at all now. Hope you want to turn this over.
This one's still on rest. So it won't over on air for you just to see it won't over on air. So this was a criteria stampings in the Midlands. They were doing forging of all sorts of components. Christie's actually bought from Norwich, Scotland. We've got the dies somewhere, but there's spanners, spanners and all sorts of things. So because we're driving a power hammer, it's got a very heavy flywheel, it's 13 tons of flywheel. So I stripped this out, virtually on my own. I had half a day's off with two of the lads. They didn't do a lot. So really clean, I did it. It got absolutely black. The head gasket had been leaking for years and had kept running it. So the pit underneath was covered in carbon and black. My wife refused to wash my overalls and had to throw them away. So it's the largest single-cylinder diesel that Crossley's ever built. It's a 28-inch stroke engine. We built one size bigger in a gas engine, which was a 30-inch stroke, which there's one at Callan Island Museum at Sheffield. But they don't run that any longer. They used to run it on gas, but they just motor it over now. So we've got the governor and various things to do on this yet. So we'll let Bob turn it over or say anything else.
The only other thing to say really is the flywheel on it. So this was in the yard here in 2000 and we started work on it in 2020. And you'll notice there it's got a crack in it there, same down there. So when they manufactured this, they manufactured it and then put wedges in there and they drive it apart and they split it in half for ease of installation. So we started it out in the car park, we brought it over here, put the lower half in, the crankshaft in, put this in. And we have to drive these wedges in here to drive the two halves back together again. And then tighten up these small bolts here. With this little spanner here. So 1,000 foot-pound on that, and then a sledgehammer to slow it down a little bit more. So we're a little bit behind that one, but we're getting there. So we've got it turning now and compressed there. We'll sort the fuel injection system out and we'll get it running hopefully next time you come and see it running properly. So we'll just turn it over on there and just give you an idea of what it will look like over there.
Yeah, yeah.
It'll look impressive when it's not going about.
Yeah. The original one was broke.
Would it normally be so?
Oh, yeah.
It's nothing It'll be probably a little bit
Now to stop this in the right position, otherwise you've got a bar around my hand and that's everything.
Have I got filters here for a whistle? I'm not sure if there's a whistling sound for a
Only a quarter to.
Can you hear it?